My name is Mr. Prescott, and I am a junior doctor in an English hospital in the 1950s. Some call me a house officer, which sounds grander than it feels. In truth, I am newly qualified, still learning, and most days I feel as though the hospital itself is teaching me faster than any textbook ever could. I arrive on the ward early, before the consultant's round begins. The beds are being straightened, the charts are being checked, and the nurses already know more about the patients than I do. That is one of the first lessons I have learned. A sensible junior doctor listens to the nurses. They know who slept badly, who refused breakfast, who looks paler than yesterday, and who is quietly getting worse. Above me is Mr. Mason, the registrar. He is more experienced, sharper, and far less easily flustered. Above him is Mr. Justice, the consultant. When Mr. Justice enters the ward, the air changes. Notes are ready, voices lower, and everyone stands a little straighter. His word carries weight. My job is to listen, write quickly, and make sure nothing important is missed. The hospital is still a very formal place. Everyone has a position. Matron rules the ward with calm authority. The nurses move with discipline and purpose. Mr. Mason stands between myself and the consultant, translating decisions into action. And I stand at the bottom of the medical ladder, trying to prove that I am worthy of climbing it. My work is constant. I examine patients, write in the notes, check charts, chase results, and carry out instructions from Mr. Justice and Mr. Mason. I am called from one ward to another, sometimes before I have finished what I was already doing. There is always another bell, another question, another patient, another set of notes waiting for me. In the 1950s, junior doctors are expected to work long hours. We live close to the hospital, and sometimes it feels as though we belong to it entirely. There is no neat finish to the day. If I am needed, I am called. If a patient worsens in the night, I go. That is simply how the job is. I am learning medicine in the old way, by watching, doing, being corrected, and trying not to make the same mistake twice. Mr. Mason can be brisk with me, but I know he is shaping me. Mr. Justice can seem distant, but I know I am expected to learn from every word he says. Even silence on a ward round can feel like an examination. But the patients teach me too. A frightened look teaches me to slow down. A quiet hand gripping the bedsheet teaches me that illness is not just a case in a file. A nurse's warning teaches me that careful observation can matter as much as a diagnosis. I am beginning to understand that medicine is not only knowledge. It is attention. I may wear a white coat, but I do not yet feel powerful. I feel responsible. There is a difference. Power belongs to Mr. Justice. Experience belongs to Mr. Mason. The ward belongs, in many ways, to matron. But responsibility follows me everywhere, from bed to bed, chart to chart, and call to call. Some days I am exhausted. Some days I wonder whether I shall ever become the kind of doctor who walks into a ward with certainty. But then a patient improves. A fever settles. A frightened relative thanks me. A nurse gives me a look that says, "You did well there," and I carry on. So this is my place in the 1950s hospital. I am Mr. Prescott, the junior doctor. Not yet senior, not yet settled, not yet certain. I am the one taking notes behind the consultant, answering calls in the night, and learning the weight of medicine one patient at a time. Mr. Justice leads, Mr. Mason guides, matron watches everything. And I, Mr. Prescott, keep going, because in this hospital, a junior doctor is not made in comfort. He is made on the ward, in the long hours, in the mistakes, in the corrections, and in the quiet moments when he finally begins to understand what it means to care for the sick. The historical details in this story are based on records about early NHS hospital life and medical training in Britain. The NHS was founded in 1948, with healthcare provided free at the point of delivery. Information about the early NHS structure comes from NHS England and the Nuffield Trust. The detail about newly qualified doctors completing a compulsory hospital service, sometimes described as an intern or house officer period, comes from UK Parliament Hansard discussions around the Medical Act of 1950 and pre-registered medical service. The description of long hours, hospital-based life, and the experience of doctors qualifying in the 1950s is also supported by personal medical history accounts, including The Year of 56, When We Qualified, by Jim Littlewood. These references help place Mr. Prescott, Mr. Mason, and Mr. Justice within the real working world of a 1950s English hospital.